Hi everyone. So I wanted to do a story so far of me dealing with chronic Lyme disease. It's been, I want to say about 3 years now, and um, it's been hard for me to talk to other people about it because they don't understand. So I'm looking for people who are also suffering from Lyme disease or chronic Lyme disease who have any interest in communicating with me to see, what we have in common and maybe we can make each other feel better. So I'm going to read an email actually that I sent to my Chinese medicine doctor, and it's basically a run through of what I've had to deal with so far. So let's see. I got frustrated with my primary care physician because I first got sick and I was like, what is wrong with me? I felt spacey and so tired. I couldn't think straight. I had aches and pains all over my body, especially in my knees and my back. I thought I had the flu, so I waited and waited, and I was like, this isn't going away. This is something else. I was going to see my primary care physician, and she did all sorts of tests for MS, diabetes, my vitamin levels, like you name it, they did test for it. And they were like, we don't know what's wrong with you. We think you're depressed. Well, I knew I wasn't depressed because I went from being a very active person to someone who wasn't getting out of bed. So, yada, yada, yada. I went and switched my primary care physicians, and the new one I went to was like, I think you have Lyme disease. Have you ever been tested? And I said, yes, but they told me it came back negative. And she told me that there can be times when you can get false negative on your results. So she sent me to Boston, Massachusetts to have extensive blood work done from a Lyme specialist there. And so they found that I had Lyme. I think this was in March of 2014. And then they immediately put me on azithromycin, and it was like this other yellow liquid, and I forget the name of it because I had babesia too, which is a co-infection from being bit by a tick. So I had that. That did nothing. Both medications didn't do anything. So then they were like, oh, we think that you need a PIC Lyme, where they were going to put in an IV medication, ceftriaxone. So I had that for about 5 weeks, I want to say, and then I had an allergic reaction to it. So they took me off that, and my doctor at the time was awful. I couldn't deal with her. She was really rude, and every time she would call me, she'd be like, oh, who are you? What's wrong with you? She had like no clue like who I was individually. Like, at least read my case before you come and talk to me about my life, and don't say, oh, who are you? That was very annoying. So I ended up switching to a specialist down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And he put me on medication. That was in May of 2014, clarithromycin and hydroxychloroquine. And I was on that for quite a while. And then I kind of was like having really bad issues with my vision, like bad headaches and pressure in my head and blurred vision. And I had it mildly before, but then it got like really intense. And he was like, oh, that's just a symptom of Lyme. So if any of you have dealt with that, like, please let me know, because I've done searches on the internet in like Lyme forums, and not very many people complain about that, I guess. I think they have some issues, but mine's like really bad. Like, it affects me every single day. So then I think I was on that medication for like 5 or 6 months. And then I started to feel better. And then he ended up switching me to tetracycline for another 5 to 6 months. And when I was on that, I went downhill. Like, that wasn't doing anything at all. I don't know if it was just me having no reaction to that medication or what. But then he ended up switching me back to clarithromycin and the hydrochloroquine for another 5 to 6 months. And actually, I don't even know anymore. It's been so long, I can't even tell how many months or how many years or days I've been on anything anymore. So right now, I'm not on anything. My doctor retired, my Lyme specialist retired, yay. So kind of left me like, what am I supposed to do now? And he said, well, I can prescribe you medication through your primary care physician and still communicate with her. I'm just not seeing patients anymore, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? But, sorry, my throat, I'm sick with a cold. That's another thing, like, it's so wonderful. You have this disease going on and then you get sick with a cold or something and it's just like way worse. It's like you can't even function. But let's see. So I don't remember. I lost my place. That's another thing. I'm like sometimes I just have brain fog and I don't know what the heck is going on. I think it was December. It was around December. The end of December, he took me off my medication. So I've been off of it. And what is it now? We're in January. No, I lied. I've been off of it before then. I've been off of it since December. Since November. So November I was taken off of it. So I haven't been anything on it since November. And I kind of stayed the same. Like, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna feel like hell again. Because I started to get better. Like, before I was not getting out of bed, now I was like, okay, now I can do some things and, you know, go out once in a while. Nothing like I used to be able to, but, you know, some things, which is good. I've been off of it for 2 months now, and I think recently I started to feel like I'm going back downhill again, like very little, because I was going out sometimes, but now I'm like, ugh, I'm like, I don't even want to do anything at all. I don't want to leave the house. So, yeah. So that's my story thus far. And it's been about 3 years. And my thing is, I can't get a straight answer from anybody on, does this ever go away? Am I always going to have symptoms? Like, it's aggravating, you know? And I wanted to know if any of you out there have had chronic Lyme and it's totally gone away, or are you still suffering from it for like years and years? So, oh, and I want to know everybody's symptoms, because I know everybody's different. Mine is extreme tiredness. I can't walk for very long, so if I go somewhere, if it's like a lot of walking, like I went to the museum and I had to be pushed in a wheelchair because I can't stand up the whole time or walk around for that much. The vision thing, that's like the killer for me. Like, just weird. I want to say blurred, but it's really not, because it's nothing I've ever experienced in my life. But it's like pressure on my eyeballs that makes it so hard to see. And headaches that are like intense. I feel like somebody took a vice and strapped it onto my head and is like crushing my skull. So if anybody has that, I'd love to hear about it. But I feel like I'm babbling right now because my mind, like, I can't focus sometimes. I need to write everything down before I say it or make these videos so I don't sound like a fool. But if anybody is suffering from Lyme disease like I am, could you please let me know? Comment below, or I'm going to start making more videos of how I'm doing, what things I do to make myself feel better, like my progress, like how much I can function with the way that I'm feeling, you know, little tidbits like this, and maybe just either other dumb videos of things that I do, because I'm home by myself like all the time. I don't do anything, I don't go out, so be nice to talk to other people, even if it's through YouTube. So if I start making videos, please start subscribing so I don't feel all alone. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and hopefully talk to you soon. Bye.